I want to take a moment to explain the gearbox that goes beneath the stand on the Orrery. It's made up of four PVC parts that have lots of holes drilled, tapped, threaded to hold all the gearing and such in place, and it's all assembled with screws. When it's completed, when it's assembled, we end up with two bevel gears here. Now these are the only two parts in the Orrery that I didn't make. I didn't think my skill level was up to the point of making bevel gears that would mesh correctly. But when you turn the crank, the bevel gears turn. They turn this upper gear here, which is pressed onto a shaft, and there are recessed holes in the top and bottom plates that allow this to freely turn, and there are bushings in the appropriate places, so it's very nice and smooth. Then the shafts. This is the outer shaft right now. This is the stationary one. This is pressed down into a hole that's made for it, and there is a set screw. I doubt you can see it, but that holds it firmly in place. Then there is the center shaft. This is the one that will rotate when you turn the crank. This fits inside the main shaft. And I made a gear, and then I press fit a bushing into it and tapped it for another set screw. Put a bushing in here. And then this gear. And when it's all assembled, the crank turns the bevel gear. That turns the gear above it, which is pressed onto the same rod, which turns this gear here, and the mechanism drives the inner shaft at the top. The mercury gear is connected to this shaft with a key, and when we turn the crank, this shaft rotates, and the mercury gear through its idlers will transmit the rotation all the way down through all the gears that end up in the gear stack. The legs are just turned from PVC, and they sit in the recesses that were cut into the bottom of the stand. And the one leg that's out here supporting the crank has a hole through it. There's a PVC bushing that's pressed through the leg and through the gearbox, and inside that is a steel rod. So this is acting both as a spacer and as a bushing to let this freely turn. And then the handle itself, which is made from Corian. I mean, it started out as just a block of Corian. I just machined it down. In fact, even its grip is turned from Corian that I've machined down. And this is the gearbox completed and working. It's driving the shaft right up through the center of the Orrery.